Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. So I'm finally on to the next part since the last episode is just the spawning into the city, and I just took a little bit of a break, like 5 minutes to just chill out for a little bit basically. So yeah, that's what I did.
So, you've stopped the lost conquest of this kingdom. I have to wonder, are you sure you've really helped these people?
Word of your victory has already breached the walls, and we are extremely grateful. I welcome you back to Pridewin as a hero. I can never repay the debt this town owes to you. Oh, I'm not sure. I do not have royal blood, but I suppose we've learned that the bloodline is now cursed. Strangely enough, your friend Grace suggested the same thing just before she left. We were in the tavern after word of your success, and someone mentioned a shipbuilder in Oxborough. She was so eager to meet this person she left right away. She did ask me to tell you, of course.
So here's something to note about royalty. There is a reason why they call them royal bloodlines.
The new queen will need a knight. I plan to stay by her side as long as she will.
So I did say that I'm heading straight up to go after Umberto, and I'm gonna get my butt kicked more than likely. Oof. So So here's the whole story on bloodlines, royal bloodlines. There is a reason why they are called royal bloodlines. It's all about ownership, right? These people were granted what you would call stakes, and they granted all these land because they guarded people for the most part. And eventually, these are heroes and local sheriffs. This is their reward, right? They get this massive stake. Now they own the stakes where you're going to trade, so it's their area. They're forced to protect it because they've been given all of this. And then over time they gain more and more power, more and more wealth, and eventually they become lords. And they employ more sheriffs to manage their districts, and they make those sheriffs more wealthy. Now at the top of it you get the big guard who is going to guard the entire territory, and they become domain lords and all of those things. It's really complex when it comes to bloodlines, but after an amount of time that becomes royal bloodlines, and this is where things get even more crazy. People who come from royal bloodlines generally have a weird trait. Now it sounds like some weird thing to talk about, but it's the reality behind it. There's actually a whole lot of people who came from these weird bloodlines like I'm talking about, and they just have these weird traits. Okay, so in the start, royalty was this weird thing which came about from what I was talking about, from that protection. And then after a while, because of the amount of lands they were given to protect, remember, you may think this is so unfair from our point of view, but trust me, it's way more fair than I'd ever want it to be. A person is made super rich because of what they hold in total, their grand total of wealth and accumulations. but at the end of the day, they still don't own the farmlands. And these people looking after all of this eventually came up with a method of making people pay for the protection, because they started giving them land, and now they own this massive plot of land, and now they can't do anything with it. They don't have the farmlands. All the farms are occupied by farmers, which is kind of ironic because they're the ones who gave them the other plots of land to operate. They don't own the businesses inside those towns. They aren't wealthy enough for that at the time when they're setting everything up. So they poor in a way, and now they have to look after all of this. And they have enemies who are coming in all the time to raid them, to take their wealth. And at the end of the day, that's how the taxes and things started to become big problems. But beyond all of this, something was recurring. Within royal bloodlines, you get this thing where one generation inherits the same trait as the next generation, and it's something that happens very commonly. It's actually because of education more than anything else, since we know about it now, but in the past it was due to other circumstances. It's very confusing to explain it, and I'm even struggling to. Okay, so here we go. Let me just clear all of this. Before I'm even done with this, I want to check something. I want to see if I can get a little bit of armor. Okay, so for example, you've got the royal Egyptian bloodline. Did you know that they were famous for warrior kings? And their warrior kings were ridiculous by a standard. They had physical strength that just dwarfed everybody else around them. They were dominant in battles. They could draw bows, which in the olden days wasn't an easy task like it is today. And beyond that, they were ruthless individuals, so they didn't have that poor morality that we use. And trust me, our morality is really poor because we believe that certain things are allowed and aren't allowed by arbitrary thoughts. I think I'm gonna leave this group right now, unfortunately. There is a reason, because I'm about to enter into this dungeon. Last thing I want is to fight it and...
Welcome back, Warden. If I had known the difficulty in claiming the fortress, I might have thought twice. However, I understand it was Umberto's actions that cursed these grounds, and somehow he was the last one standing. It seems his soul was tormented, and perhaps that drove him to make poor decisions. This island eventually makes fools of us all. Come though, speak with the young lady. She has made all kinds of preparations.
Okay, so here's it. I'm going to finish off all of this here. So we know about the royal bloodline of Egypt. They had the warrior kings. They were literally that strong. And then you know about the royal bloodline of the Caesars. The Caesars were charismatic, super intelligent, and tactical geniuses for the most part. Yes, you could match them 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 possibly. People could match them in strategy. But to have charisma, intelligence, and all the stuff naturally gifted to them is what made them so dangerous. But at the end of the day, it can also corrupt you very quickly. So that's how come they fell. Then you get the British. The British is actually more of a heroic bloodline. They come from the line of Charlemagne. And Charlemagne has this history of how he came up through saving people. That's how it went. And yeah, that's just Charlemagne on his own. And thinking about that, that's one of the reasons why royal bloodlines are so important. Heroes, loyalty. You get it? I'm basically saying that that is the reason for royalty. They meant to be there as something for the future, something to make things better. But we take them as this horrible thing, as royalty.
You were just in time to interrupt Jonas sharing another tale of your exploits. Not that I wasn't enjoying them, of course, but I'm keen to take a shot at removing this curse. Assuming you have the heart gem. Are you ready? Keep in mind, this isn't an exact science, but whatever bad deeds the Vigil performed here, the worst of them were in the Undercroft. I've anointed the entrance with pure Azoth water and placed the sigils. Take Umberto's heart gem into the Undercroft and destroy it. If what I'm hearing is true, and it protects some part of the soul, you may face some resistance. Bottom line, he must answer for what he did.
Yeah, so that's how come you can't just inherit a royal bloodline. You must prove yourself worthy of them. So yeah. Now it's time to go and kick somebody's butt who needs a real hard beat down. I can't believe the game actually made me a little bit upset because of how they just replaced the bloodline. And with what you learn from the Corpse Crone, you find out that the Lost aren't really totally lost. They've devoted themselves to protecting everybody from the corruption, which makes them a force for good in the grand total. It's just that one or two wayward individuals had taken over that power to stop the progression against the corruption. So yeah, craziness. This is not going to be an easy fight. I know it's not going to be easy, so here goes food first thing. This is the only ghost who actually comes in full form, like his physical body, and has so much of health that you can't really beat him. So, wait, no. Harlock in...
My soul will not be so easily vanquished.
Oh! Okay, this is better than I expected. You might be wondering why was I so shocked. Because I'm actually doing 3 or 4 times my previous playthrough's DPS right now. Again with the Okay, so I was able to. I probably was able to. But you can see why I wanted to get there. It took too long. Soul trial completed. And this isn't a small reward, this is a big one. I think this is a 5k or so. So yeah, it's gonna be nice and heavy, it's gonna be a hefty return. Minutes. Okay, wait, no, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Finally.
I must admit, I really wasn't sure this would work. But look at this place. I'd say it's as pristine as the day it was built. You and I make a good team. Funny, Jonas said the same and Galahad's on board. So I think I might allow myself to go along with the flow. Speaking of, I didn't push you on this before, but something happened to you at the Azoth tree, didn't it? I told you that tree had power, didn't I? Its wisdom is directing you, of course, telling you what to do next. I think Galahad mentioned a sorceress with a purple eye. Maybe we need to find her. Ask him about it.
You've done well, young one. As menacing as that corrupted army and Great Cleave may be, I believe we are safe here. I will maintain my focus on recruiting and training new Soul Wardens to defend the place.
Ouch.
You, on the other hand, have no such luxury. You've been quiet, but I can tell the voice of the Tempest still speaks to you. You are connected through the pure Azoth you were exposed to, and corruption strive to claim it. It means you have been imbued with a power that exceeds my understanding, and it makes you both a target and a threat to the enemy. I do not envy the destiny that lies before you. nor do I know where it leads. I will not pretend to understand such things as the Azoth tree, but neither will I deny its primal power. You should heed the vision as Son suggested. Ask Galahad about this mysterious sorceress with the purple eye.
Galahad.
It seems Providence has already seen fit to verify I made the right choice in coming. I hear this talk of the sorceress with the purple eye, and I believe we have another quest to undertake together. Yes, though I know her by another name, the corpse crone of Weaver's Fen. I have doubts about her existence, but Mayor Pennyfather in Calvary's obsessed. Go and hear his account, and then meet me on the road to the Fen.
Okay, so this is one of the easiest paths out of here. I just have to run through. So the fast leveling is back, right? These quests are 4 and 5 and 6, and then they get to 10 and 12,000 per quest. So if I keep up on this path, I'm going to start really leveling up fast. I'm finding myself being more and more hammer prone compared to what I used to be. This is weird for me. I'm a major hammer guy for Lazarus, right? It's the only weapon that has a massive advantage in Lazarus because it does extra damage to ancients, and obviously that makes it the best there. And then you want to take a great axe or a great sword into Genesis because that is your advantage on that side. So as I'm saying, those are the two far extents that I want to actually conquer. Oh yeah, Pennyfather, you should be here. I don't get this. I don't even know who I'm talking to here. I know where Pennyfather is, I'll just go to him and wait for him to pop up.
If you wish to see me punished for my silence, I accept it. You again? Oh, no, please. I have nothing more to confess. You've already exposed my secret shame, and I understand you managed to lure Sun away on some crazy enterprise. What more can you take from me? The corpse crone?
Don't say that name so loudly, lest she be summoned.
She is the true cause of all this darkness in Brightwood. Indeed, I have written an account. Just read it for yourself and know the horrors she wrought.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Story time.
Long ago, a witch crept into the eastern fens. This was the corpse crone, and she cast a wicked spell. The deadly hex spread like a sickening plague. The island's immortality was twisted and made obscene. The curse of the lost would haunt our lands. The people sought salvation from this plague. Desperate, we believed conviction our only course. We discovered the soulless could hide amongst us. Committing them to the cold earth was the only answer. Eventually, the crone's purpose became clear. Her hex would bind the restless lost to her will. To this day, her foul curse lingers. Until her evil can be forever extinguished.
So the uniqueness of these stories, what makes them so unique? Ooh.
There now, you know the full story. Whatever terrible deeds you attribute to the Bright Vigil, they were victims too. Tell me though, do you mean to track down the vile crone and hold her to account? Be wary then, nosy traveller. Weaver's Fen is a foul territory, ridden with sickness and despair. All the crone's doing, no doubt. I wish you luck, though. Or perhaps a miracle. You'll need it, I fear.
Okay, now where's the next step? Should have gotten some XP for this at the very least. Yeah, here comes the Weaver's Fen section, and I hate Weaver's Fen. Oh, Weaver's Fen. So, why do I hate Weaver's Fen so much? There's your first part where you're going to go and you're going to chase after the corpse crone. Then you're going to go and you're going to investigate the ancients. Then you're going to end up coming back here, going all the way to Restless Shore just to fight with what's his name? Thorpe. Then you're going to go all the way back to kill Jonas. Then after you finish killing Jonas, you're going to come all the way out, and you're going to head into Eden Grove. You're going to meet up with your Angry Earth friends who you've already made so far, and they're going to send you to Restless Shore. Then you're going to you go to Restless Shore, you meet the dog. That is before you meet the Thorpe end of that storyline. Then you head back to kill Jonas. Then you head up into Great Cleave. Yeah, you head up into Great Cleave. You complete the mission for one of the suits of armor that you can wear. It's 500 piece armor. It's the max before you reach 600, and then you go back down. You come into Brightwood, and from Brightwood you end up going back into Great Cleave. You end up going across, and you end up in Eden Grove. Then you take on a few missions, and you end up meeting your old friends from the Angry Earth. You end up talking to the crazy Dryad lady, and you end up talking to the bear and a whole lot of them. Oh, here we go.
You've heard Pennyfather's sordid tale, have you? I do not give that man's story much credence. Neither do I have any desire to meet this sorceress. Such types cannot be trusted, in my experience. We've come this far, and discovering the truth about the source of the Lost Plague seems wise. But there's a great deal of ground to cover, and little time, if the corrupted are as strong as they seem. careful not to give too much credit to the Azoth tree. Nature here does not always align with humanity's best interests. If she exists, I suspect, however, the corpse crone may be hiding secrets of significant power. There's a stalwart knight named Sir Britmar who once protected the Fen. If she remains, I shall request her aid in this venture. Meanwhile, the crone's curse began in Perryville, so I suggest you search there. Do be careful.
Okay, so just to note, this is one of the easiest parts of this quest. When I say one of the easiest parts of this quest, I mean you're entering into a higher level zone. This is a level, I'm not sure, level 20 to 55, or was it higher? Doesn't look so bad right now, but it's gonna start looking real bad once you start crossing in. It's a marsh for the most part, right? It's just so weird. Wasn't a great start to this episode, I won't lie. The whole thing about royal blood really makes me a little bit sour, because I know the histories and I don't like the way that people portray it as you can just become royal by doing one deed, and it's not that fast that a royal family is born, just for by the ways. The thing is that I haven't seen a Taurus, and considering that we're on the island of immortality, I'm expecting that we're gonna run into a Taurus at some point. Ah, there's it. Technically speaking, I believe the soul wardens are lost, because we actually sacrifice our souls by putting them in items. Love that XP, the weapon XP and the XP itself. 43 per kill, just where I want it to be.
lost in the ancient tablets quickly proved a waste of time. Whatever reason the ancients cultivated, it was not to defend against the Crimson Madness. Conversely, the mushrooms seem to offer some promise. I was able to infuse them with the Azoth from the ruins, and the mushrooms' luminescence dimmed when in the presence of corruption. Desperate as they are, it was not difficult to convince the villagers here to drink the mushroom concoction I prepared. I did leave out the fire gathered from the ruins. Whether the serum's effective remains to be seen.
The most unique capability of all humans, ingenuity. That's what the corpse crone is doing here.
Finally, my efforts have yielded results. I have exposed several volunteers to corruption. And while the mixture may still require some fine-tuning, it's clear that it works. With some caveats. Unfortunately, I noticed right away that the cure somehow deadened the volunteers' senses. And a short time later, they seemed to lose their ability to communicate. Later, their eyes began to glow with a chilling Azoth blue, and they eventually became completely non-responsive. The villagers have taken to calling them lost, and the condition seems to be irreversible. I am convinced that with a few more tests, I can eliminate these disappointing side effects. Difficulty recruiting more volunteers. Even Britmar is having doubts.
So we got the whole idea behind the Lost. They were a protection against becoming corrupted. For all intents and purposes, what she's doing is the exact same thing that Jonas did to us. It's just not directly the exact same process. With one or two caveats in between, it's just a slight modification of the process.
Damn it all! The situation here in Perryville is deteriorating by the hour. It seems one of the Lost somehow passed their condition on to a family member who had not been a volunteer. I offered to assess and treat the poor woman, but I was met with nothing but anger and fury. Everyone seems to have forgotten that this effort is in pursuit of protection against a far greater evil. With a few further tests, I am certain I can perfect the cure, and perhaps even find a remedy. If I am to find more volunteers, however, they will not be here. Marv is helping to pick up my equipment and research. And even this town of fools in the morning. Oh, good riddance.
That's how I say goodnight.
I hope you had better luck than I, my friend. The legacy of the corpse crone seems to have claimed every town in this region. The only thing I've learned about Sir Britmar is that she departed from this area in some haste. You found the Crone's grimoire. Quite an important clue. Filled with records of her vile conjurations, no doubt. But if it makes mention of Britmar, then I should very much like to study it further. Though the Bright Vigil never came this far east, it seems there were those who sought to hold the Crone accountable for her crimes. I presume you saw the posters. These shadow hunters gathered in Karberg. Perhaps. I've just come from searching Britmar's home there. The Crone's curse swept through Karberg like a hurricane. It appears the entire town fell lost in hours, and the curse still haunts the streets like a contagion. Very well. I should spend time studying this journal for clues to the Crone's fate, and that of the brave and loyal Britmar. Learn what you can in Karberg, and then meet me on the town's outskirts. Light be with you, Warden.
Okay, so in terms of what's being said here, right, we already know the Angry Earth said that the only reason why corruption can affect us is because of ego. So if that is 100% true, then what this lost potion does is it annihilates the ego, and by annihilating the ego, it basically makes it tougher to fall to corruption, because there's nothing for the corruption to take hold of, and that's how come you are the way that you are. Corruption. Bad boy. Sit. I said sit. Told you to sit, you didn't listen. Now I have to kill him. Oh, can't kill him. Can't skin him. Sorry, not kill him. Finally, Emma upgrade. Let's go 1 and let's go 2.
We won't allow you to profane this place with your foul...
Enough! I don't have time for your ignorance.
transpired here, corruption is truly the least of the evils this island has to offer.
300 XP, who doesn't want it? Okay, so just click that, fill up this level. If you think this is irritating, wait till you see how irritating the ancients and the angry earth are in this place. Oof. Light tinctures. Hate them.
This journal tells more lies than truths. I cannot believe Brittmar would support this foul sorcery. What did you learn in Karburg? Did the hunter apprehend the crow?
In the wall and fighting. I don't even know what I killed. I just had to fight something that tough.
This journal tells more lies than truths. I simply cannot believe she cursed an entire town. Such power rivals the magic of even Mirrodin himself. Perhaps that explains Brittmar as well. Yes, surely the crone had ensorcelled my brave friend. That must be it. The only place that hasn't fallen lost in this dreadful swamp is the ramshackle settlement of Twillen. I should like to go there and inquire after Brittmar. I cannot rest until I find an explanation for all this. If the journal is to be believed, the crone spent centuries studying the ancient ruins in the Fen. That is undoubtedly where she acquired her power. The last entry makes specific mention of the ruins at Vega Bridge. That makes sense. I hope you find answers. I hope we learn the crone ultimately faced justice for what she did. I will go on to Twillon and inquire about both Britmar and the crone. I'll await you there.
So that's what I was struggling with. I was killing a wolf. Oh yeah, I know this nightmare. The ancients are always a pain to deal with. And they've already started chasing me. I'm not out of the worst part of this yet. I won't even deny this. And there we go. Honestly, we can't do what they can do. So nice. Finally. He can't shoot me, so he can't push me. Yeah, this is fantastic. I've passed it 4 seconds to go. Sticks me inside the bricks. Yay! These parts are definitely things that I really hate. The clash object situation is just overboard. And soon that archer will respawn.
I've translated the glyphs on the bridge, and it's clear this passage was once a major supply route. Just as with the obelisk, the bridge was protected by magical devices, strategically placed to ward away some danger, almost certainly the corruption. If I could find one of these devices, I had hoped to deconstruct it and determine what energy powered the Ancients' wards. However, I've searched the length of the bridge, and whatever devices the Ancients placed have long since been looted or destroyed. The only possibility is that one remains somewhere in the bridge's upper framework. If I can get up there.
Fantastic. Ah, come on. I know I can't unstuck for a few minutes, so let's go unstuck. See what it tells me. 84 seconds. They don't realize they're putting jumping puzzles into the game. You have clash objects that can drop you like this here. When you hit that edge, you're supposed to auto climb. I've set that active. Oh, I do remember there was another trick for leveling up. You drag a person into Murktide who's way too low to even be there. Oh, man, that is fast leveling. But it is one of the most painful things you can ever go through. You know what, I am in a good enough spot to actually redo the entire Can you believe this, y'all? It won't. I come. Again. The amount of waste on jumping puzzles because of clash. There's it again. I'm clashing again. I'm bouncing. I'd rather just do the unstuck. It's just so much of a waste. How's this? Worse than fighting a boss. Walking on... There's it again. Jumping. Moving my camera as it pleases. And believe it or not, I've completed this. I haven't made it onto that other ledge just now. Okay, I'm going to just pause for a second. I'm going to end the recording here and I'm going to bring you back, hopefully on the top, as soon as I unstuck. So catch you all then.